Uh, Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is our fourth video of the night. We are back to three middle-aged dudes bullshitting about nothing. Uh, Theory is experiencing technical difficulties right now that are outside of his control. And it's already really effing late, so we want to go ahead and get our thoughts off our chest while we actually have time. And this is one of the few times we're all off of work at the same time. Yes, unlike the stereotypes, we do have jobs, okay? And we live in our own places, and we pay for our own shit.
We have jobs,
okay?
our own homes,
right.
families, and so on.
Exactly.
So fuck you if you try to say that the stereotype is otherwise.
Yep.
Or,
You're just
missing 3-4 middle-aged dudes that talk about nothing or gaming or common sense logic and all that. Fuck that. We're gamers and we still have lives to live. So
exactly. And
we got our own shit.
We got ways to pay for our own shit. All right. Of which, of course, like a lot of our topics that we've covered over the last few weeks, one of the things that we love is games. All right. And there's another debate that's been actually been around for quite a while now that we just want to go ahead and touch on, and that's the pros and cons, of having physical media over digital media and vice versa. All right, because the way that it's going, and this is just an honest assessment, is that it's inevitability that all of the first-party publishers, whether they be Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, they're all pushing for full digital distribution. All right, the publishers are pushing for full digital distribution. Okay. And after watching a few other videos from other YouTubers on the subject, it's not really just going to be, hey, look, you can go ahead and download a copy of this game, and then you're going to play it off your hard drive. Ultimately, what game companies probably want is that they want to go ahead and do something that's very similar to what they have in hotel rooms for top boxes, and also on the PlayStation with PS Now, where they want everybody really just to be streaming games. All right, that they want the market sooner or later to come to a point where you're never going to be actually owning any of the games that you purchase. You're going to be subscribing, renting, or leasing it out in perpetuity. All right, all the way into the future. And the only way that you're going to be able to go ahead and get your game is if you have it sitting there in some sort of digital format to a machine that's connected up to their servers for DRM verification or wherever. All right. I will say right now, if it ever gets to that, I will probably stop buying games. Your thoughts, guys?
I feel the exact same way. There's no way you're going to replace my physical media into something digital that I don't actually fucking own.
Yeah.
And for me, there are just way too many disadvantages for digital gaming. Now, yes, we grew up in the age where physical media was an option. A lot of people
the
are
only
not.
option.
Yeah. And a lot of people are not growing up in that age anymore. Either they have shit downloaded to their phones, or they have even 3DS games downloaded to their 3DS, or right now on your consoles, you have to install all your fucking discs to your fucking console. Yeah. Even though you own the game, you have to install it. It's there, but you still need the fucking game in there, which absolutely makes no fucking sense. But as far as
I can explain that part, but you can go on.
Yeah. Okay. As far as digital media though, I can't believe that a lot of people do not understand this premise of it. If it goes to the fact that you always have to be online to play your shit, and if it's a downloadable only type of thing, as soon as those servers shut down, your games will not fucking work anymore. Period. And a lot of people do not understand that. So regardless of what you have, as far as what you downloaded, you don't fucking own it. And that's one of the main reasons why I am against digital media at that standpoint. If they fix that, then I will fully fucking welcome it. I can download the shit and I can actually have it forever. or as long as I fucking live, okay, fine. But they want us online all the time, and they want us to download all this shit. And then, like I said, as soon as those servers go down, which will be the end of the life of the fucking console, your digital media will not work anymore. And I'm totally against paying all that fucking money and then gone, my shit doesn't work anymore. I'm just totally against that.
What about you, Ganos?
Well, with me, I am 100% at this time and in the future totally against digital only media for gaming, at least. The reason why I say that, the collector in me, obviously you can see behind me, I like to have a physical
white walls.
I like to have a physical copy of the game in hand. You know, I mean, for the same purposes that the theme was talking about. You know, what happens when the life of the console is over? Are the servers still going to be open, or am I still going to be able to actually play the game? However, on the other side of the coin, the digital content, it's kind of nice too, because you could actually play a brand new game at midnight of the release instead of standing in line at some game store or whatever. That you could actually have that game. You don't have to leave your house, and as soon as the midnight hits, you could already start playing. You don't have to go nowhere because you pre-downloaded the content. And one thing too is this digital only thing is that, you know, it's going to open up a door for the publishers and the developers to do that day one DLC bullshit. That's just completely unacceptable. I mean, because if the game's digitally only, it'll be easier for them to do that in the first place. It just, for me, keep the downloaded content to the movies and and audio media like CDs or whatever. I mean, but even in then, I still like to have that disc. It's just, I don't know, maybe call me old school, but again, you know, I mean, the three of us grew up during the physical copy era, I hate to say. And unfortunately, it seems like that era is coming to a close sooner than what we want it to. And I mean, the younger generation, the millennials and whatever, where they grew up with iPads and iPhones and you know, completely connected to the internet, like you said, 24/7. We come from an era where there was no internet, you know, so maybe it's just ingrained in us, hard to let go of a physical copy of our media that we consume. And it's easier for them because they've always had, you know, an iPad or an iPhone or a Galaxy or whatever. You know, they've always had that at their fingertips. We didn't. And I think that's where a lot of the older gamers, such as ourselves, sorry, older gamers, but like ourselves,
I don't care, call us older,
are having a harder time with digital only content. With the whole thing with the you have to put the disc in and download it to your hard drive, even if you own the disc. To me, you know, that didn't happen until the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, which is 100% bullshit if you ask me. Because I mean, there's no reason.
No, it's not.
As far as I'm concerned, I know what you're going to say. As far as I'm concerned, I own that game, and since I already downloaded it to my hard drive, why do I have to have the disc in my drive to play it? But I know the reason why, the meaning behind it. You know, they want to check for pirated stuff, and I understand that. I do, but just because I understand it doesn't mean that I want to accept it. And those are just my opening thoughts.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's just a few clarifications. All right. Like I said at the beginning of the video, ultimately what publishers want to go ahead and move on to is that they want to go to digital only format, not just for distribution, but they want it for streaming. When you go ahead and you want to play a game, you got to start a download right then and there to even start fucking playing. Okay, where it's like you're never gonna have the full disk of data. You're never going to have the full game library available on your hard drive the whole time. When the cloud infrastructure is robust enough and fast enough, and everybody has, you know, an average of like a 600, you know, megabyte download connection speed at all times across the board, that's really what they're waiting for as far as the actual physical infrastructure of technology to go ahead and enable that. Okay, where I come from is that physical media is going to be king. All right, because the thing is that this, okay, I may not own, dead or alive, the intellectual property, but this copy right here I own. Okay, whether or not I decide to put this in my PlayStation to play, I use this as a coaster, or I use this for fucking skeet shooting, it is mine to fucking own. Okay? Why? Because I physically have it in my hands. I paid for it. I paid sales tax. Okay? That's part of the right of ownership. Okay? Now, the thing with like the installations and other things, look, the cool thing about this is that with or without having any sort of like hard drive or emulator or anything to copy this onto, I could still play this. Okay. The thing with the beginning of installations on the hard drives, okay, guys who've been modding consoles have been doing that ever since the PS fucking 2. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And the Xbox. All right. The reason why they want to go ahead and do that is because the hard drive is going to move a lot more data a lot quicker than an optical drive. Okay. It just makes fucking sense to do that. All right. Now you still own that physical fucking disc though. All right. And there are still ways, at least on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, to go ahead and play it without having to install it on the hard drive. Now, what we're dealing with the Xbox One and PS4 is that they've got slow-ass fucking Blu-ray readers in there that if you think the loading times are bad now, just imagine if it was loading off the fucking disc, okay? You'd be able to get up and make yourself a fucking sandwich and pour yourself a drink, all right? Then come back and shit would still be loaded, all right? That's
so why don't they just go to solid-state drives? In the Xboxes and your PlayStations. That would solve that whole problem. If you're talking about a problem, because I have to pick up information from here and here and here and here. I know that takes time, but by installing
I'll answer your question with this: do you want to pay $1,000 for your fucking
right?
I understand.
Okay. Now,
solid state is not. It's just now starting, so of course it's going to be expensive, just like every new technology.
It's not even a state thing. All right. The drive, the Blu-ray drive in a PS4 is only like a 6-speed drive. They have 16-speed Blu-ray drives available for fucking PCs. Okay, if you go ahead and get a raw drive, that fucking drive will cost me $180.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it'll cost that much more on your fucking PS3 or your Xbox One. Okay, the reason why though that I'm against digital only distribution in the way that corporations are moving toward is that basically, like I said, I have this in my hand. I own it. Okay. Now, if the concept of owning a game or being able to play a game is extended out to any other physical fucking product that you have, all right, imagine having to sit there and paying a subscription fee just to wear your fucking shoes.
No.
All right. Imagine sitting there and paying a subscription fee just to go ahead and be able to walk out to your car and fucking start it. All right. You know, imagine not being able to start your car if you didn't have a fucking data stream going to your fucking car. That's what's gonna happen. All right. That's the same type of fucking paradigm or setup that I'm against. Okay, because in that sort of situation, you don't own anything. You're just renting shit. Okay, yeah. You're just leasing shit out. I'm sorry, you know what? I work by the hour. All right, and if I put my heart in, you know, if I work hard for something, I'd like to go ahead and actually be able to if it's something that I could own and I could take a hold of, I want to be able to own and take a hold of it. All right. And the other thing that really kills me is that, you know, I've noticed this many times. You know, I've got a lot of games on my Steam library and everything else. I've also got a lot of games that I downloaded for the my Nintendo DS and my PS3. So I'm not completely against digital copies or digital distribution in practice. I think it's really convenient not having to worry about shelf space. And I also think it's really convenient being able to sit there and say, okay, look, if I just decided to go ahead and pick up my PS3 and if I was like exiled to my garage, okay, I've got a CRT sitting there in my garage and I've got the appropriate cables. I don't have to bring my fucking library of games. I'll just bring my PS3, my cables, a controller. I can go ahead and I've got access to over 100 titles on that I can fucking play, you know, which is great. All right. The problem is that there are games that are no longer available on PS3 or PSN or Xbox Live that were there 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. All right. And it's just like the same thing that happens if you happen to be a Netflix subscriber. Okay. Whoever goes ahead, any of the publishers, if they sit there and they put out a game on a particular distribution service, and this is part of the copyright laws, all right, which unfortunately a lot of publishers go ahead and they confuse what that means when it comes to the consumer, all right. The thing about the copyright law is that in order for it to be able to go ahead and be distributed via over the air, over the internet, on TV, via PC or whatnot, somebody's got to pay a licensing fee to go ahead and distribute that out. And if they don't renew that fucking license, it will be gone from that fucking medium. Period. Okay, I've seen games disappear. I've seen DLC disappear. All right, and people are sitting there saying, "Well, no, if you go ahead and you've downloaded it once and you know you delete it or you switch systems, you can go ahead and re-download it." That doesn't happen all the fucking time. All right, I've seen the dreaded "this content is no longer available" fucking error message. Okay, on my fucking when I've tried to go ahead and re-download shit off of PSN. You know, it's one of those things that a lot of people, a lot of younger folks who are used to the digital format, they don't realize that, you know, when you sit there and you pay the same amount that you would pay for a physical fucking copy, all right, and you give up that right to actually fucking own it and do what you want, that's a lot, okay? Because you know, everything that the marketplace is it runs on, it's set on precedents and everything else. If one industry sets up a precedent and they see that, hey, look, they're able to make a shitload of money doing this sort of marketing plan, you know, another fucking industry is going to go ahead and do that. Just like as soon as somebody went ahead and did a celebrity endorsement back in the fucking 20s when the TV came out, okay, or actually no, back when radio started becoming widespread, all right, as soon as one celebrity endorsement was done, everybody needed to get a fucking celebrity endorsement to go ahead and market their shit. It's the same fucking thing, all right? Well, like we said in the previous video, publishers are gonna try to make as much money as they can off of as little working product as possible, all right? And I'd rather have my shit, keep it around,
right?
Okay.
See, a lot of millennials don't understand. Okay, like we all grew up with shit like the Warehouse and Blockbuster Video and even mom and pop stores that could actually fucking rent games.
Yeah.
When you rented that stuff, you understood that the shit wasn't yours.
Yeah.
Netflix. Okay, having Netflix, you don't own that shit. You can only use it as long as you have the subscription for it.
Yep.
So what if you apply that to fucking console? What if you apply that shit to games? That you can only use it as far as digitally as long as you're subscribed to it. But at any fucking time, just as the Reverend said, it can just totally fucking disappear. if a publisher doesn't renew a license, DLC can disappear, games can disappear, and it's like, wait a minute, where is it? It's not even fucking available to you anymore. And then there's you actually having a shit, but you need DLC for it. Next thing you know, you turn that shit on, and you don't have the proper DLC, and then the fucking game doesn't work.
Or if you need internet connection. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. It doesn't matter if it's for PS4 or PC or fucking, I don't know, some virtual Mega Maid sex robot that's going to come out in 2021. All right. I'm probably never going to be picking up Street Fighter 5 unless they go ahead and make a way to play that shit offline.
No, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous to have that shit only to play online.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes it seem like that, damn, you don't fucking own your shit.
Yeah, I mean,
you even have 100% options as far as what to do with it unless you're connected to the fucking internet.
Yeah, I mean, fuck having no arcade mode and just having story. You have to sit there and you have to have an internet connection just to play through the story mode or fucking survival mode. You fucking kidding me?
No.
Shit, I don't need a fucking connection for survival mode on, I don't know, fucking Tekken 2 or Tekken 3, which is right on my shelf.
Right.
And they have arcade modes.
Hell, arcade modes was ever since fucking Super NES.
Yeah, you know, but it's one of those things.
I mean, the only reason why I found out about the Street Fighter V that I couldn't earn any fight points at all because it's connected to the server. And
yeah,
what the fuck, man? And the way for me to earn the extra characters, downloaded content, was to have fight points. And I was sitting there looking at it, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And then I started looking for the arcade mode, and I was like, wait a minute. You know how they kept that quiet until somebody actually started complaining about it? How do you fucking leave an arcade mode out of a damn Street Fighter game?
Hey, now, wait a minute. I remember when the Godzilla game came out, and it wasn't even a fucking versus mode on it. Not locally.
Yep.
If you wanted to play your friends, they had to go get a PS4, get a copy of the game, get an online subscription, go next door if they live next door to you, so you can fucking play together.
But
that's fucking stupid.
Absolutely. And the thing is, though, it's not just Sony doing this. Microsoft has their fair share, too. So we cannot just point, Sony. No. It's both damn systems, and the shit's got to stop.
Like you said right at the beginning, you know, the industry as a whole is moving toward this. This is their end goal is going to be not digital distribution. It's going to be streaming of gaming.
But the thing is, though, if you look at this as a business type of, if you're looking at it through business eyes, it makes more sense to them, you know, because they don't have to produce. They don't have to hire people to sit there and watch the robots on the assembly line to make the plastic cases or the game itself. They don't have to do that no more because it's all digitally. All they got to do is take the code from the developers and sending out to everybody. So the manufacturing process is gone.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to worry about like
shipping,
shipping, stocking shelf space, packaging, you know, or anything like that.
And that's and believe it or not, I work in supply, and look, it's expensive to ship shit. Trust me.
Yeah.
It is.
So, but if they're, you know, in that end, they're saving lots of cash. But are they passing that on to us?
Yep.
Why did the fucking digital copies cost more, you know, just as much as a physical copy?
Exactly. That's what I was just about to bring up. If that would be the case, why the fuck is a digital in the
why?
Exactly the fucking same?
You know why? Simply because what they're doing is they're paying these stores to have their stock on their shelves. So they have to make that money back somehow. Pass to the consumer. We are the consumers. And
you see, as far as it being the future, you know, as far as being the consumers, the future is when we say it is. In other words, money talks. If we don't buy the shit, if we don't supply them with the money, then this shit's not going to fucking work. It's not going to keep going. Yeah. It's not going to communicate well. This is what happened a couple of years ago with the Xbox One debacle, when they said, okay, this is the future and you're going to stick by it and that's it. And then when gamers did a lot of pushback, and it was only by words with first, only with words first, and then they started pre-orders, and they were like, "Holy shit, these people mean business."
Well,
so we actually have to change this shit, and digital only, and you have to be online to play. People are actually starting to accept the fact that it is the future.
Well, they got people
that it is coming, that there's nothing we can do to stop it. People have already got that shit in their heads.
People were, maybe they still are, they're petitioning Xbox to revert back to the 2013 launch.
Oh, because of the family sharing shit that they lost. There's no fucking goddamn reason as to why they couldn't have still had that.
You're right.
I got family sharing with all my physical fucking.
So do I. Here you go, sir.
Here.
Here you go. Here, play this.
You wanna play this? You're at my house. Go ahead, ask me. I'll reach for it right off my fucking shelf. All right.
Yeah.
Am I gonna let you borrow it? Maybe not. But shit, I'll let you play.
I'll sell it to you though, right?
I'll sell it to you. It's just that, certain people were not looking at the liabilities when it came to total digital gaming. And when a lot of intelligent people were pointing that out, people were still making excuses as to like, oh no, this is the future. You don't know what you're talking about. They wouldn't do that. And it's like, are you serious? You're putting these motherfucking companies on a pedestal? That's the same thing. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing was, like you said, words didn't do anything to them. Until Microsoft looked into the pre-orders and said, what the fuck? Nobody wants our machine. And then they're like, oh man, we got to revert. And then they reverse their shit pretty quickly. And it helped that, that guy, Dot made.
I wonder what have happened if Microsoft would have stood their ground and said, no, we're not going to change any of this. I wonder what would have happened to them.
You know what? To be honest, I think that we'd probably be in the same situation that it is now.
I don't think we would have made
way ahead. And I mean, maybe they would not sell as many Xboxes that they have sold currently. I mean, you got to give Phil Spencer a little bit of credit for changing, that whole.
I gave him credit,
but however, he's doing more things negative now, and like I said in one of my videos, man, I'm pretty much done with Xbox. It's pissed me off the final time, when you start going back on the simple things, and and then I wouldn't be surprised if they send a patch soon and turn that shit right back into all that bullshit with the digital download and all that crap.
This is one thing I don't understand about that whole situation with Phil Spencer or with anybody that works at the Xbox camp. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook. They see the traffic. They get shit sent to them. They don't get threatened online or anything like that, well, as far as I know, but they get a lot of positive things said. They get a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
How are they not listening to that? What liabilities would it be to listen to the suggestions that gamers have about the product and when they want to see the product get better? Now, of course, they're not going to listen to everything because everything wouldn't be feasible when it's suggested to them. But I'm talking about bringing back old games. I'm talking about bringing back old franchises that people want to see, or even trying to work with getting certain franchises or games on your console, certain ideas on your system, certain things that will actually fucking benefit. And when you tweet this and then you get a fucked up response as to say that, not to say that, okay, if they would come out and say, okay, wait, we never considered that. Maybe we'll work on it or we'll look into it. A positive answer, at least a glimmer of hope, but to just dismiss it altogether, it's like, wait a minute, you say you're a gamer, but you're not trying to benefit gaming, or you're not trying to benefit gamers at this point.
The thing is, though, if the consumer's point is not aligned with what their vision of their future is, they're not going to respond, or they're not going to respond positively.
Well, the problem is you're in the gaming industry to try to satisfy gamers, and if you don't do that, you have no gaming. You have nothing. Well, and they are realizing that, especially fucking now. It's only going to get worse for them if they don't actually open their eyes to actually see. It's not like we suggested so much garbage that it wouldn't work. That's the part I'm not understanding. It's like, wait a minute, were gamers just totally unreasonable at a certain point? I don't see that ever, as far as being totally unreasonable to not even take our ideas in consideration.
Yeah. Well, like we said, multiple times, a lot of things that we're dealing with as far as the folks making decisions, so the folks making decisions, they're not creative people. Okay, they're bean counters. Okay, and the thing about Phil Spencer is that he has his bosses, and they sit in their executive offices. Okay, they're the guys who can go ahead and fire him and make sure that he doesn't get his fucking retirement or his next bonus check, and he's going to go ahead and dance to their tune. Are they always in touch with the actual consumers? Unless they're not making money, usually no. All right, because the thing is their whole job is to go ahead and drive the market in a way that's going to make them more money. All right, and whether or not people realize that, to go back to the original topic, whether or not people realize that the digital games and the distribution and everything else, as convenient as it is, I mean, I like Steam as a client. Like I said, I have over 500 games in my fucking library, and Steam sales kill my wallet twice a year. Okay, absolutely murders the fuck out of my finances twice a year. All right, and it's a love-hate thing. That's something that I got to go ahead and take care of myself. All right, I'll accept responsibility for that. But it's really easy to deal with, especially when you have something, when things are working correctly. All right, it's very easy and it's very convenient. Unfortunately, where we're at with a lot of people is that considerations over convenience and what's immediate, and also versus over what happens to a lot of things overall in the long term. Reasoning tends to fall on the wayside and fall onto the side of convenience and instant gratification, which, as I don't want to sit there and say it's a millennium thing, because the thing is that the older folks are the ones who fucking put it into place so that it could actually be used. So unfortunately, it's a kind of cyclic. We're on a portion of a cycle that's not moving away from any of that anytime soon. And I don't think people are, like I said, are realizing that the end goal isn't just, oh, this is how we're going to give you your games and this is how you're going to purchase them. No, this is how they're going to control your gaming. Okay, when it becomes full streaming, full digital, and everything else, they're going to be able to choose when, what, how, and why you play. All right. If I sit there, the thing about this is that it could be a lazy Sunday afternoon, and I could be in my fucking underwear, and I could pull out any physical copy of my fucking games, and I can go ahead and throw them into my console and I can play them. All right. But if it turns out that, somebody in charge has a wild hair up their ass, and they believe that it's, completely a bad thing for any responsible adult to do, during their spare time, it's like, wait a minute, you're intruding on, what the fuck I'm choosing with what the fuck I own? Really?
We don't need okay, they try to have it. This is now the era of authoritarians.
Yeah.
We don't need that embedded in gaming. We already have them outside of gaming trying to control gaming. We don't need them in gaming trying to control gaming. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's almost like a socialist network going on. I mean, seriously. I mean, I have this, but you don't. But I want it, so I'm gonna take it from you.
Or it's like, I don't like that. I'm not interested in that shit anyway. But I want it gone. It's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? You're not even interested in what we're doing.
The thing is,
you don't really understand what we're doing. You don't even appreciate it, but you want it gone just because you don't like it. Fuck you.
Yep.
That's what it's doing. That's what they're doing outside of gaming, and now they want to have it inside. No, we don't fucking need that.
What's so weird is that the whole reason why we went to World War II was to stop the spread of these stupid ass fucking ideologies. But for some reason, they're creeping back into our society, and we're not going to stand for that. I'm not going to stand for that shit.
No.
Well, and the thing about it, you know, just to wrap it up, is that it's not just an ideological thing. It's something that's being pushed along through the industries, many times through industries that we actually fucking love. All right, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, if I hope those who are like just diehard digital only will come to a realization about the other costs that they don't see of the digital distribution. Okay, if they come to that realization, maybe they'll change their mind, or maybe they'll reconsider, you know, just jumping whole hog into, you know, having to lease everything for the fucking rest of your life. All right.
I mean, I understand the digital only thing. It is convenient, you know. You don't have to tote around all your physical copies or whatever. I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But for me, this is my closing thoughts. But for me, I prefer to have a physical copy of my media that I enjoy. It's just something that maybe it's because the way I grew up, the time that I grew up in, where, you know, there was no Twitter or no internet or any of that. I mean, I guess times change, but this particular thing, I really don't think it should change at all. I think we should always have a physical copy of the medium, of the gaming medium.
Yeah. Because the thing
I like to own everything that I purchase.
Yeah. You know, and that's just how it is. And the thing about it is that what people got to realize is that, you know, digital gaming, all right, look, they've already pretty much done it to music. They're going to do it to movies, and pretty soon they're going to do it to fucking books too. All right. When all the information and everything that you get where you interact with the world outside of your walls is through this fucking screen. All right. That is not a cool fucking situation. Okay?
No. People are still complaining about people are not getting enough face-to-face time. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I mean, the thing is encouraging people to stay in their so-called dungeons, you know what I mean?
Space.
Why should I go outside when I could get it right here?
Yeah, I mean, with that, you know, we've got like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Really, that's how it is. Thank you for watching the video. Comment, subscribe, up, down, whatever, left, right, east, west. We are the Three Middle-Aged Dudes. I'm the Reverend.
This is the Theme here.
And this is Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, credits.